ready, Sherry? Okay. This might help. I haven't heard is it recording? Okay, great. Good evening and welcome to tonight's Monroe City Council meeting. This is the regular business meeting for Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. The time right now is 7:01 p.m. I'm going to ask that our clerk today, Sherry, please call the roll. Okay. You could just say everybody's here.
Council members present, establishing quorum: Fulcher, Beaumont, Hanford, Walker, Gamble, Fisher, and Scarborough.
Thank you very much. Also known as everyone's here. Okay, thank you. We do have a couple of students tonight from Robin Carlson's class at Frylands Elementary School. I've already discussed with Councilmember Beaumont the possibility that the students come forward and lead us in the pledge. Councilmember Beaumont's been kind enough to say yes, and so Ms. Carlson, could you please come on up with your students and please lead us on the pledge? Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, the next item that we have on our agenda is public comment. We do have 4 people. We good? Okay. We do have 4 people who have signed in to speak this evening, and I'm going to go ahead and invite the first person up, and that is Ms. Carlson. And I'm not going to read through the whole script, but we do keep our comments to 3 minutes. We'll go ahead and put that timer up there on the screen. And I'd ask you just go ahead and state your name and association with the city and the city of Monroe. Okay. Yeah, the community. And then go ahead and we'll start the clock. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Thank you for having us this evening. I am Robin Carlson. I am a resident of Monroe, and I teach 4th and 5th grade at Frylands Elementary. Our students in my class had an opportunity to do a writing project and create 2 proposals. They had the choice between a proposal to our principal for a class pet, which included octopus and monkeys, or the opportunity to present a council member with the idea of building a second skate park in Monroe. And I believe you have all seen those proposals. We've talked about them a lot in our class, and so several of our students wanted to come tonight and provide public comment on those. 3 of my girls are here. I don't see anybody else that's coming in, but I know they're excited to come in and share to you why this project is important to them, besides the grade that I give them for the writing. Who's first? Eva, come on up.
Okay, and Ms. Carlson, what we'll do then, just so that they gain some experience with speaking from the microphone, is if they're okay, they can go ahead, we'll go ahead and restart the clock.
Hi, my name is Eva. Thank you so much for coming for this evening. I would like to make a skate park near Lowe's so that we can have 2 skate parks and kids won't have to drive all the way here just to skate. There's also a neighborhood near there, which could also be in walking distance, so that they won't have to drive and they can just walk. That's why I think that there should be 2 parks.
Okay, thank you very much, Eva. Mrs. Carlson, would you like to introduce the next student while we reset the timer? And we'll pull Robin, if you could pull the microphone down just a little bit, that would be helpful. For them.
For them, of
Yes.
course. I'm going to invite Brooklyn up. Come on, you can do this.
Come on, Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, you can pull the microphone down if you like. There you go.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn, and I'd like to skate park in Monroe because people can't always reach Lake Ty, and people would like to have a lot more fun at the skate parks at too, and they can have different choices because they can have different activities in each one.
Thank you very much.
And our final speaker from my class is Finley.
Skate park? Hi, my name is Finley. Skate parks create a community where kids can hang out. I feel like we should have a second skate park in Monroe, on the other side of Monroe, so then people who live on the other side don't have to drive all the way down to Lake Ty to skate. And it would be in walking distance of them for the neighborhood close by. And that's it.
Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Well, before I address the students that just came and spoke, is there anybody else who would like to speak this evening under public comment? All right, seeing none. I know that I talked a little bit with you out in the lobby. I shared the plans that each of you had and your other classmates with the council a few weeks ago. We had some nice conversation about the presentations, and the council members mentioned how much they appreciated the work that all of you did in identifying like an actual parcel of land, and you thought through constructing the skate park there. And you went so far as to give project estimates, and we would love to meet your contractors. I think we had one estimate at $25 and going all the way up to, I think it was 75 or 100,000. I forget which one. One of the things that I talked about when I met with your class is just the importance of being engaged and coming to meetings like this and making certain that not only is your voice heard, but the people are listening to your voices. And today you did something really courageous. You did something really patriotic, which is coming forward and sharing your thoughts with your council and your mayor. And I am so thankful that you came here today to do that. So with that said, we have every 6 years a big book that we put together called the Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Plan. And I would encourage each of you to get involved when that plan comes out, and encourage your parents to get involved as well, and talk about what it is you'd like to see for our parks here in Monroe. Also, we're working on a new festival lot in downtown. There was a committee meeting just before this meeting back there where 3 of the council members were looking over some draft ideas for the downtown festival lot. And that's something else that you can come and you can look at that feels like it's more like a project rather than a big book. And I would encourage you to come to any community meetings that we have about that and talk about what you'd like to see in the downtown, where you can come and get together with friends and maybe have a little bit of a park space also as part of the downtown. So those would be my thoughts. And again, thank you so much for coming this evening. We normally don't have the council talk during this, but it's really special to have your class, to have the 3 of you come and represent your class today. I'll turn to the council. Are there any council members who would like to say any words? Councilmember Fisher, you and I made eye contact and you were moving the microphone.
And I didn't have time to get all of my thoughts together, so I appreciate it. No, like the mayor said, awesome job coming here and sharing with us all of this stuff and the things that you want. I love the idea of a skate park on the other side of town. So now we just have to go through all of the ins and outs and the budget process and the approval processes and all of those things to see if we can make that happen. But great job coming in tonight. I love seeing you guys active with small government here. It's really, really a cool thing. So kudos to you and your teacher.
And I'm going to ask a question. Can the three of you see them okay? Because if not, you can come on up here to the podium. Okay. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Councilmember Walker and then Councilmember Hanford. Councilmember Walker?
I just wanted to echo the same thing. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming out tonight. It really does mean a lot, and I hope that you always know going forward that literally every comment that you provide makes a difference. So thank you. I think you guys deserve extra credit for coming out tonight and exhibiting the courage to speak like that. And yeah, thank you.
Councilmember Hanford?
I second the motion for extra credit. I want to just thank you as well for coming. We don't usually have that many people speak on Tuesday nights. We all have said multiple times that we want to hear from our citizens and the people that we live with, our neighbors, and it just doesn't happen that often. So when you guys come and you speak, it means a lot. So if there's other items in the future that, as you go through your class with Ms. Carlson, that stir a passion in you to come and talk to us again, please do. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Gamble, and then Councilmember Scarborough, and then Councilmember Beaumont. Councilmember Gamble.
So it is a big deal, you guys being here for a couple different reasons. And I remember the statistic from when I was in school, and it was my music teacher that shared this with me. And then he showed me the article, and he said, Jason, do you know what North Americans or Americans fear the most? Or number two, what's the number two, the second biggest thing that people fear the most? I didn't know. And he said, death, Jason. And that was very uplifting. And I said, okay, well, shoot, if that's number two, what's number one? He said, number one is public speaking. He says, if you can master that and figure that out, you're going to have a jump start on life that you'll have on all kinds of people. So loved hearing the stuff about the skate park, but also the public speaking piece and getting up and being able to articulate your thoughts and your ideas. That's a big deal. So nice job.
Thank you. Councilmember Scarborough.
Well, since I didn't do the public speaking part very well in my youth, congratulations to you and yours for coming. It takes a lot of courage, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. So thank you for your concerns, and thanks for coming. Bye-bye.
Councilmember Beaumont.
Thank you. So I read through what we were provided, your plans, and they were great. And one of the things I loved the most about what several of you said tonight, and also your written plans, was the idea that you can walk to this new proposed skate park instead of having parents drive you or needing some kind of transportation down there, which keeps cars off of our roads, which that's a plus, right? We are always striving for that. But I love the idea of getting exercise at the skate park, but you're also walking down there or riding your bikes down there, which promotes health, right? Keeps you active and visiting with your friends on your way down there. So I thought there was a lot of really good thought that you put into that I really support. And lastly, you came here, maybe uncomfortable a little bit, public speaking with a crowd of people listening. I want you to know that sometimes I come to where you are. I'm an emergency substitute teacher when I can have a full-time job, but I often am at your school. I was just there recently as a substitute teacher. So I know it takes a lot of courage to try new things, and I feel that way sometimes when I'm a substitute. And I hope to see you maybe before the end of the year at Frylands Elementary. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilmember Fisher.
No, Fulcher.
We're going to go with Fulcher.
Yeah, I'll go with Fulcher.
That's
Why
okay.
not? Unless, you want to talk again, Kyle? Okay, good. Girls, it is so nice to have you here this evening. If I had things my way, I would have every Monrovian here at least once a year. And so you guys can check it off. You've done it. And you had great ideas. It was fun to, I was kind of in on the process early on. I kind of knew about what you guys were doing. So watching you guys get to this point and then having you here tonight was just a great experience. So thank you for coming and congratulations on your public speaking. That was a big deal. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you all very much for coming this evening.
Thank you all for listening. Really appreciate it.
So, council members, we do have a need for an executive session. If you hold just a second, I'm going to ask a question here of the city administrator. Council members, I'm going to respectfully request that we do a minor modification to the agenda. We have two people here this evening for your consideration to confirm for my appointments to the Parks Board. The executive session could take as much as 30 minutes, although for the record, I will announce initially 15 minutes and may extend. So that they don't have to wait here for an undetermined amount of time. What I respectfully request is to allow us to amend the agenda just to move 7.1, which are the two Parks Board appointments, up to precede the executive session. And if you want to make that motion, please say so moved. Okay, so I have a motion from Councilmember Scarborough, a second from Councilmember Hanford to move 7.1 to precede item number 5, executive session. And so we're going to go ahead and move to that. Oh, wait, we're going to vote on it first. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motions passes 7-0. Thank you. We're going to go ahead now to item 7.1, and I will ask that Liam McCorkle come forward and present. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, Council. We currently have 3 vacancies on the Park Board. Staff issued a call for applications, and we received 2 applications for the Park Board vacancy. Both applicants originally applied for a non-Park Board position, but indicated a desire to be interviewed for the vacant Park Board positions anyways. Mayor has reviewed both applicants' applications, conducted an interview with the candidates, and now Mayor is requesting their confirmation at tonight's meeting. So with that, I will hand it back to the Mayor.
All right, thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and the first one that I have is a request for you to move to confirm the Mayor's appointment of Ryan Olson to the Parks Board, position 1, with a term ending December 31st, 2025. And I'm going to invite Ryan Olson to come forward. If you could just introduce yourself really briefly and explain briefly why you're interested in serving the Parks Board, that would be helpful.
Lucky number 1.
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you for having me, Mayor, Council. So I'm a recent transplant to the city. I've lived here for about 5 years. Maybe that's not so recent, but yeah, I'm really excited about getting more active in my community. I've had a passion for it for a long time, and I think this is a really good opportunity for me to get to know the City Council a little bit better and to learn about our parks and to become more active and to help out. I like to see that our parks are safe, well-maintained, and accessible for all of our people, and I like to be a part of that to help out. So,
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
thank you.
So I turn to the council for a motion. Thank you, Councilmember Walker.
I'd like to move to confirm the mayor's appointment of Ryan Olson to the Park Board, position 1, with a term ending December 31st, 2025.
I have a motion from Councilmember Walker, a second from Councilmember Scarborough for requested action number 1 under 7.1 Park Board appointments. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations, Board Member Olson.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Ryan.
The second request that I have is for you to confirm my appointment of Claire Robinson to the Parks Board. And I'm going to ask Claire to come forward. And just as Board Member Olson did, if you could just briefly introduce yourself and your interest in serving, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure. Hi, my name is Claire Robinson. I would have dressed up, but I was just at Sky River Park for my daughter's soccer practice, so I kind of zoomed over here. Yeah, it's like, if anything, this would be the time that it would be okay to have just come from the park. So I graduated from MHS in '09. I've lived back in Monroe since 2018. I have 2 young kids who are in the school district. I'm a mental health professional, and I'm really passionate about the outdoors and how green spaces affect community health. I also have a master's of public administration and a master's of social work. And I'm just a pretty civically minded person. I love Monroe. I'm excited to contribute.
Thank you very much, Claire. So I turn to the council. Councilmember Fisher, I was going to call you Councilmember Kyle. Councilmember Fisher.
That works too.
It works.
I move to confirm the mayor's appointment of Claire Robinson to the Park Board, position 5, with term ending December 31, 2026.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Fisher and a second from Councilmember Fulcher. Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations, Board Member Robinson. All right, so thank you very much, Council, and we are now going to move into an executive session, so we're back up to 5.1 on the agenda. This is potential litigation pursuant to RCW 42.30.110, subsection 1, subsection little I. We are going to go into exec session for an initial 15 minutes. I will announce any extensions that may be necessary, and our clerk will announce that here in the chambers and then also online. We will then come back into regular session. There will be action to follow the executive session. So we are going into executive session at 7:21 p.m. for an initial 15 minutes.
Executive session has been extended 4 minutes. Executive session has been extended 5 more minutes. Executive session is extended 5 minutes. Executive session has been extended 5 minutes.
All right, good evening, and we are back out of executive session. The time right now is 7:56 p.m., and we will go ahead and continue with our agenda. We are now moving on to consent agenda, which is item 6, and I turn to the council. Go ahead, Councilmember Hanford.
Move to approve the consent agenda as listed.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Hanford, a second from Councilmember Scarborough to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Please let the record show that Councilmembers Walker and Gamble were not in chambers for the vote. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda. That would be item number 7.2, resolution number 2025-010, utility and telecommunication franchise agreement application fee with Mr. McCorkle. Good evening.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening again, Council. In 2022, the City of Monroe City Council adopted an ordinance that added Chapter 5.54, Utilities and Telecommunications Franchises, to the Monroe Municipal Code that outlines the process for applying to and granting franchise agreements in the City of Monroe. According to the adopted code, applicants must include an application and review fee in order for their application to be considered complete. However, since this code was adopted, the City Council never adopted a resolution articulating the amount required for the application fee. Recently, in March, the city received an application inquiring about the city's telecommunication franchise agreement application, hinting that they would want to submit an application. But they are now waiting for further communications from the city regarding the required application fee that would allow the city to recoup the cost it takes to review and draft a franchise agreement template for council's consideration for approving that franchise agreement. So after contacting and reviewing other city codes and discussing with legal staff the expected rates and hours for reviewing and processing franchise agreements, we are recommending City Council to adopt a franchise agreement fee, review fee of $5,000, and this is based on reviewing the application to ensure consistency with the city code, preliminary meetings between city staff and legal consultants, drafting the franchise agreement itself, negotiating the franchise agreement with the applicant, and then any costs associated with creating materials and presenting that to city council for a final review and approval. And it is consistent with what most other cities are charging in terms of application fees. So that is what this resolution is doing.
All right, thank you very much. So I'm going to turn to the council for a motion or any questions that you have. Go ahead, Councilmember Beaumont.
Thank you, Liam. My question is always, how do we stack up with other cities? And this was well-written and made a lot of sense, and I can see we're right in there. And so I would like to move to approve Resolution 2025-010, adopting an interim application and review fee for utility and telecommunications franchise applications.
I have a motion from Councilmember Beaumont, a second from Councilmember Fulcher for the requested action shown on the screen, 7.2, new business. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item 7.3, proposed amendments to Chapter 3.52, MMC Park Impact Fees with Mr. Swanson. Good evening again.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. So tonight, bringing forward the park impact fees at the April 15th meeting, we discussed this, the impact fees based on a residential bedroom count as opposed to our traditional methodology where it was unit type. And so at that meeting, we had Michaela from Community Attributes, Inc. here, and she discussed the methodology, how it was in compliance with the state law, and also identified the new proposed impact fees that are going forward. And so with that, staff is requesting that council move to accept first reading of ordinance 005-2005, establishing the base park impact fee.
And just to clarify, this is ordinance number 005/2025, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I turn to the council. Any questions for Mr. Swanson or a motion? Councilmember Walker.
Move to accept first reading of ordinance number 005-2025, amending Chapter 3.52 MMC Park Impact Fees, updating the city's schedule of park impact fees and the calculation methodology, therefore, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
I have a motion from Councilmember Walker, a second from Councilmember Hanford. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move on to councilmember reports. We're going to start off with Councilmember Gamble. Councilmember Gamble. Thank you. Councilmember Scarborough.
I made an appearance at the egg hunt Saturday. I must say, if you didn't see me, it's because I couldn't get out of my truck because I couldn't find a place to park anywhere.
I thought you were going to say you were dressed in the bunny rabbit outfit.
It was offered but refused. I tried to look even inboard a block and it got real tenuous. So anyway, I tried to make an appearance, and it's great to see that it was that well received and that busy. We at some point may have to start thinking about what we're going to do for additional parking for the Lake Tide facility. So other than that, nothing else.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Fulcher. Thank you. Councilmember Beaumont. Thank you. Councilmember Walker.
No report.
Thank you. Councilmember Fisher.
Just real quick, I noticed there was it looked like an encampment fire over the weekend down by kind of the railroad tracks, and just a reminder for us all to just kind of keep an eye out for those encampments so we can make sure we can get those people into services. And also, that probably would have been a little bit different of a scenario in August. So that's all I have.
Thank you for the reminder. Councilmember Hanford.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I was walking down to the lake during the Easter egg hunt and walking along with neighbors that were walking to it, and I heard them saying to their kids, "We're walking because last year we couldn't find parking, remember?" So it was great. It just so happened that I came around the end of the lake and right into the new fields, right when the 8, 9, and 10-year-olds were all lined up at the square, ready to race into the center and get the eggs, and they counted off and they said, okay, 3, and they all just went. And so that was funny, but it was perfect to see and wonderful to see, and tons of people having just a blast. Families out there, it's just really neat. And our parks are looking really sharp. So thank you for that, Ben and the team. It's just, everything's looking great. The one thing I noticed today walking around the lake, when I noticed the flag was at half-staff, the POW-MIA sign, or flag beneath it, is starting to get pretty frayed.
The flag?
Yeah, the flag.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
We'll follow up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask that Ben follow up on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure like who funds that, who pays for that. If it's not the city and we need to find funding, please let me know, because I want to help with that.
Okay.
But,
All right.
that's it, thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember. All right, we're going to go ahead and drop through the staff and department reports. We're going to start off with the legislative report with Mr. McCorkle.
Thank you. I will keep my report brief. All of the materials are in your packets. I will point out that the current scheduled end to the legislative session is April 27th, so that is coming up on Sunday. It is very likely that this will get extended as the legislator is continuing to work on their proposals for the budget. So staff are continuing to monitor that, and we will continue to report up until the end of the legislative session, where we will provide a recap to the legislative committee on all the bills and budgeting that has occurred on the state level. There was some exciting news on March 28th when both chambers released their capital budget proposals, and $360,000 was included in both capital budget proposals for the City of Monroe's funding request for the Rotary Youth baseball fields for that turf replacement project. So that is pretty exciting. And then the very last thing I will bring up is that next week, 5 council members and 3 staff members will be going to Washington, D.C. to meet with our legislators, advocate for City of Monroe priorities, and build relationships. So that is something we will look forward to. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions? All right, thank you. Next one is Public Works reporting. I took Jordan's name and I added it to the word report, so you're reporting today. Thanks, Jordan.
All right. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Mine will be short as well. Just 2 items in the report. Oh, yeah, no problem. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. The first one is, it comes from our wastewater treatment plant staff, and just items not to be flushed down drains. That could be toilets more specifically, or just other drains that go to sewer. Our wastewater treatment plant staff frequently performs maintenance on equipment to remove blockages that are caused by some of these products, and they should not be introduced into the sewer system. Many items that we buy in the grocery store are labeled flushable, but they can cause lots of problems for equipment like pumps and stuff at the wastewater treatment plant. And then in the report, there's a picture of what staff actually has to clean out of some of those pumps at times. So it's just an important reminder. We also had a social media post go out on Facebook. I think it was maybe last week that went out, just reminding our community about those items. And then the second item in the report is we got additional grant funding for our RFB crosswalk upgrades. Those are the rectangular rapid flashing beacons. At the end of 2024, we had 6 of those installed by the operations and maintenance staff. And now we have some additional funding, where 4 more are going in throughout the city. And then also some of the ones that were previously installed, we're getting some lighting upgrades on those as well. So there's a map showing the locations of where those are at. The blue pins are the ones that were installed in 2024, and the red ones are the ones that are currently being installed right now.
Thank you. Councilmember Scarborough.
On your first one here, what are people supposed to do with fats, oils, and grease?
What are they supposed to do with them?
Yeah, if they can't put them down the drain, are they supposed to put them in something that doesn't leak and put it in the recycle bin?
Yeah, I would defer that to our wastewater treatment plant staff. They're the ones that inspect that, like at restaurants and stuff. I know they have special containment that they're supposed to be putting that stuff into, but are you talking about residential?
Residential.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be putting that stuff down the drain either.
What are they supposed to do with it is my question.
Yeah, they would put that like in a container and take that to like the dump. Typically, that's what you would do with that kind of stuff. Not down the drains. That's going to cause a problem for pumps.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? All right. I will share this, and maybe it was one of the upgrades, but I was driving to work at ODark 30 on Thursday last week, and one of the pedestrian actuators, were actuated over by the YMCA, and I saw the blinking yellow lights. The thing that surprised me that actually caught my attention was I could see, like daylight, two people walking in the crosswalk in the dark. We're talking 5:15 or so, it's still dark. And the blinking yellow lights are nice, but boy, the light that just bathes the people that are walking across the crosswalk, that was really incredible. So if that is one of the upgrades that occurred, okay, good. I'm like, how did I miss this? That's an excellent addition.
Good.
Yeah, so thank you.
All right.
All right, any other questions from the council? All right, thank you, we're gonna go.
Thank you.
All right, next one is Finance Department report, January through March 2025. Julie.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I will keep this brief as well. The materials.
Just pull it up to you.
Okay. The materials are in your packet and begin on page 253, and I will just go through kind of some highlights. So you'll see on page 6 of this report that November was the last time that you received, I think, a financial report and update. So you'll see the PSAs are from November through March. And then and just a couple of highlights, sales tax revenue is still coming in on target and as planned, and same with REIT revenue. However, as you know, sales tax revenue is 2 months behind, and REIT revenue is 1 month behind. And because of the uncertainty in the economy and in the fiscal environment, the mayor is implementing budget management measures. And so all of the directors have been critically looking at and evaluating our travel and training expenditures, as well as contracts, subscriptions, staffing plans, as well as revenues. And then you'll see beginning on page 11 that there is the financial report and revenues and expenses compared to budget through March. However, I find the reports that begin on page 15 to be more beneficial in a comparison of 2023, 2024, and 2025 actuals. So I've included that. And I think it's important to note that building permit revenues are down, as well as capital facility charges related to the utilities. And besides that, I think that was kind of all that I was going to highlight. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I turn to the council, any questions? All right, Julie, thank you very much. And just to underscore there, we've seen some reductions related to home sales and construction, and we just want to make certain that, like we did during COVID and a couple other times while I've been serving, we just want to take a more risk-averse approach to our budget. So things seem a little skittish right now. I don't want to leave a problem for the next mayor and council in the second part of this biennium. So we're going to go ahead and be really careful about the expenditures that we're having right now. So hopefully we'll see a nice trend later this year, and that will take our risk-averse approach and make us feel good that we create a little savings for the future. All right, thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
All right, next one is IT Department. Jason.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Been a few minutes since I've been here, so I'll try to make this brief, but it's me, so we'll see. One of the big changes we made is we converted Hussein, who's sitting over there, into a full-time employee. There was a lot of applicants, and he bubbled to the top, so that was a good move, I hope. So, welcome aboard. The other big thing we did just recently is we completed our second round of the state auditor's governance innovation cyber checkup. This is a program I really do enjoy because they give you a lot of practical improvements you can make based on kind of a lightweight process. So we've completed that. They gave us our recommendations, and we'll be moving forward with those. And then the rest of our time is spent trying to get ready for the building move. So we're getting that all built out.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions for Jason?
Thanks, Jason.
All right, thank you. Next report then we have is community development, and Kate will be handling this one this evening. Good evening, Kate.
Thank you. There's just two items I'd like to bring your attention to. As always, the community, the project highlight. This is for the Christian Congregation Church at 610 South Lewis Street. This project actually began in 2018. They finally held their first service in March in 2025. The other item I would like to share is that we hired a new permit tech. Jennifer Woods started last week, so we have one more position to fill, and that's our plans examiner, which we are in the process of interviewing. That's it.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions for community development? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next report we have is Police Department with Chief Jolly.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Pleasure to be here. Jeff Jolly for the Monroe Police Department. The included report in your packet probably does not need explaining, but I will say that on the first page under significant cases, I would point out, because of community safety and interest, that the shots fired call at the local tavern on Lewis was rectified and that an arrest was made of the individual responsible. So I would point out the good work of our detectives and the team that actually initiated the call that night, subsequently made that arrest. And then on the last page, I would just point out I'm very proud of my deputy chief for having graduated from the FBI National Academy. And there's an included picture with the FBI director handing out diplomas. It was a phenomenal event, and very proud of that guy. And also thank you to Councilmember Hanford for attending his father receiving an award at our annual awards banquet, and the mayor for helping us out and handing out awards and being there to make it look official and pomp and circumstance. So we appreciated that. And other than our headline speaker, I think everybody had a pretty good time. So if there's any questions, I'm available.
Thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you very much, Chief. All right, we're going to go ahead and hop on to item 10. This would be the mayor and administrative reports, and I'll turn to the city administrator for the extended agenda. Deborah Knight.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Looking forward to the extended agenda. We do not have any meetings planned for Tuesday, the 29th. The majority of council members will be in Washington, D.C. And for May 6th, we don't have any meetings scheduled for that day either. So our next regularly scheduled meeting will be a business meeting on the 13th. Just a reminder to council that we do have council tours starting at 5:30 p.m. at the Union Bank building. We'll be there for about 20 minutes, and then we will be going down to the municipal campus and touring the city hall, and then leaving enough time then for those that are members of the Legislative Affairs Committee to get back in time for their 6:30 start time. For the Legislative Affairs Committee, we have a couple of new business items. We have a records policy update, and we have the 2025 legislative session recap. And then for the regular council business meeting, we have a public hearing for the citywide rezone. And under the consent agenda item, we have the regular accounts payable, meeting minutes, and payroll. We will have a contract amendment with J-Ray, and then a contract for the police facility municipal campus study, and then park impact fees adoption with Ben Swanson. And then the regular reports.
Thank you. Any questions? Go ahead, Councilmember Scarborough.
It was mentioned about the building move. That projected date is what?
July?
Well, the official ribbon cutting will be July 7. The way that the building is currently coming along, we are anticipating that we will begin moving staff in mid to late June.
Okay, thank you.
It doesn't mean all staff will be there by mid to late June, but we'll begin moving folks into the building if all goes as planned.
Any other questions? What's that?
Yes, July 7. I think I've got to save the date.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All right, thank you very much. Next item, City Administrator Report.
Here we go. So a couple of upcoming items for council calendars. We have the Arbor Day and Earth Day celebration on April 25th, 1 p.m. Lake Tide Park. Please let Joe know if you plan to attend so we can notice a quorum if necessary. Hope on the Horizon is scheduled for May 6th at 5 p.m. That's being hosted by the Monroe School District, but the City of Monroe is a partner in that event. We have the City Hall Festival Lot Tour that I mentioned just previously on May 13th. And then Puget Sound Regional Council Annual General Assembly. I think we've heard from a couple of council members who plan to attend that event. And then finally save the date for the City Hall and Municipal Court ribbon cutting. We have been working internally as staff to create some save the date notices to go out, both electronically and hard copies. And then there will be kind of a more official and formal invitation to follow. But we want to catch people before the busy summer months start. So that's intending to go out the first part of May, the save the date.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Hanford.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to point out that I will be in the air as I'm flying to DC a couple days early. So I will not be at the Arbor Day and Earth Day celebration, otherwise I would be there to join you.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you. Councilmember Scarborough.
You said Arbor Day, we placed to be determined?
No, that's at Lake Tide Park.
Right.
But I believe, and I will look over to perhaps Mr. Swanson, I think it's near the skate park.
Is it near the skate park? Dig a hole, plant a tree?
Arbor Day.
Over by
Yes, by
Skate
the
park,
skate park,
okay.
confirmed.
And you said Monday, the 7th is the ribbon cutting, you didn't say a time?
Monday, July 7th, it's Monday, July 7th.
Right.
Yet to be determined.
Yeah, it'll probably be in the-
late in the afternoon.
Okay.
Okay. You're gonna, what were you saying about a quorum? Okay, we'll notice a quorum. All right. Councilmember Walker, did you have something? Okay. All right. Okay. Next item on the agenda then is the city administrator report. Administrator Knight. Yeah, you did, didn't you? Do you want to do that again?
I've completed my report, thank you, Mayor.
Okay, that was great. That was shorter than the first one. That was great. Okay, egg hunt, really great event. This year, I was able to ask Jerry Dixon if I could meet the bunny rabbit, and he brought the bunny rabbit over. Bunny rabbit didn't move real fast, and I wish I'd known that before I said I'd love to meet the bunny rabbit, because the bunny rabbit must have walked what seemed like 30 yards to come over to me with feet moving like this. I mean, it was kind of fun. But so the Easter Bunny joined me then on the stage with little feet going like this. Was concerned that the bunny rabbit would fall off the back of the stage, and the chief was there to make certain that didn't happen. So thank you, Chief, for helping to protect the bunny rabbit from falling off the stage. But to everybody's point, there were a lot of people that showed up, and it was just a really great event to see everybody there. Construction, I went ahead and took 45 minutes to an hour on Friday at lunch to have Jake give me a tour of the construction at the municipal campus. And I think you're all really going to like the way this is turning out. The chambers looks really nice right now. And The back area, your executive session area, the executive conference room, which is where the executive sessions will be held, and it's part of where the executive branch is going to be. It's a really neat room. And the restroom also, if for some reason you need to step out during a meeting, you'll be able to hear everything that's going on in the meeting also. So it's got a lot of really nice architectural elements. It's got a lot of really nice light. The courtroom is one of, I think, 3 spaces where there's actually a skylight up above that's got opaque white glass that lets, nicely filtered sunlight into the space. And I think it's going to be a space that people are really going to enjoy working in. And it's going to be a really good place that we can bring people to and help serve our community. So anyway, I'm looking forward to you all seeing it on May 13th, and then I'm looking forward to seeing how things come along by then as well. Yeah, and this Friday, Arbor Day planting, so looking forward to anybody that can come out. And those of you heading off to DC, be careful, learn a lot, and have a good time too. So I'm happy that you all are able to go, and yeah, I think that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions for me? All right, there is nothing further this evening, so unless there's objection, we will be adjourned. Okay, we are adjourned. Have a great week, everybody. Be safe, and I'll see you on May 13th. We're adjourned.